Hey there, it's Seren the Healer, and again, in my 14 years of being a healer, body worker, I've noticed patterns that connect the path of the sun to physical tension and pain as it travels its year. And I have used those patterns to create programs for you specifically by your design type and your astrology chart. So today is Sunday, another June gloomy morning here in Southern California. And I wanted to do a little read for the week. I actually was thinking about how last night I helped about 4 different people with rotator cuff, frozen shoulder type injuries and pain. And it's consistent with Gemini energy getting trapped in the arms, the shoulders, the hands, and needing to purge that out, you know. But one of the people that I worked with last night was gently comparing me to somebody else that she had worked with recently. And she brought up something that I haven't thought about in a while. The way that you can feel the difference between a body worker who's confident and has like a gentle calm about their touch that comes with that confidence, as opposed to someone who's a little newer and a little unsure, even if they're not doing anything to specifically make you not trust their skill, you can feel the difference. It was a huge compliment, and I love those moments. Part of me wishes I could bust out a camera and be like, say that again, so that I could share it with you guys. But in those moments, it's more important to me to keep it sacred and just take that in, you know, one-on-one with my client. But it's something that can't be taught. You just have to know, you know. And one of the things that I love helping people with is finding their place, their career, their thing that they bring that quiet confidence to. Because when you have that, it works as a stabilizer. It works to help you focus. It helps to keep everything in perspective when things are going sideways on you, when you're in those moments in between a desire and a manifestation of that desire. The thing that keeps pulling you forward is being able to do something that you're good at. That's a message that I got a few years ago from a friend of mine. Shout out to Natasha. Being able to tap back in and go back and do something that you are confidently good at, something that you have that sustaining presence with. It brings you back to yourself, your authentic self in the moment, and other people around you can feel it. They resonate with that, and it amplifies it. It brings you home, you know. All right, so today, the sun is still in Gemini. The moon is in Scorpio until tomorrow morning. And in human design, we are in the gate 45. Gate 45 is about influence. It's about sharing resources, the authority to distribute resources and help others, you know. It is a throat gate, so it's manifested energy, but it's about being appointed that position, being invited to that position. The people that you are leading, that you are guiding, that you are helping, they need to invite you to do that. They need to already know that they need your help in order for your help to actually be beneficial to them, to be helpful to them. You can't take that position by force and have any sort of good results. You know, no matter how well-intentioned, that position needs the permission to be an authority. And we get that from being authentic. We get that from being real, being ourselves. you know, and I love that online with TikTok, we're seeing more of that. More of people wanting to just show up as who they are, how they are, and their audiences embracing that. All right, we threw a couple of cards down. I'm gonna... These are the decks that I pulled out yesterday, and I'm kind of wishing that I had grabbed the deck that I usually use for my personal weeklies. But this one will work just as well. I'm going to pull a major arcana from my body tarot deck. We got the Emperor. The Emperor. Okay, that's interesting. Especially with us being in the 45 this week. Okay, so there is a necessary position, point of view, or insight that you can contribute to your tribe this week. And it has the potential to not only shift, but set things into motion or into a different direction than you'd previously been focusing or moving. Maybe somebody in your group is struggling and you see a different point of view that they can take that will help them to stop feeling stuck or stop feeling disadvantaged or helpless, you know. Definitely there is some effort that will have to be contributed to that goal. There's some work that will need to be done, but until you shift that perspective, the work is going to seem overwhelming, daunting. When you shift that perspective, it's going to fuel that energy behind the ability to do that, right? So it's like going from manifested energy to generated energy. You're going from spark and inspiration, a ignition point, to something sustainable that can carry you through to getting the job done, okay? It's very electric. It feels very electric this week. Things moving quickly, people shifting into place in order to take care of what needs to come next. And there is a bit of a give and take that can potentially throw the balance off if your expectation is out in front of everything that you do. And when I say that, I mean, if you can contribute to the common goal from an open heart space, from a authentic place of this is who I am, this is why I'm giving this, as opposed to I'm giving this to get that. You know, if I give this, then you need to give the same amount. Everybody needs to put in the same amount, right? When you're doing that, you're focused on trying to control what everybody else is doing, and then your contribution is going to be stilted. It's going to be inauthentic. It's not going to be received well, and you're not going to get out of that situation what you could have had you just been in. It's bringing me back to a card that I saw yesterday. When we enter into a group, tribe, maybe even at work, you know, situation where you need everybody to contribute quality productivity, right? You need everybody's help. If you come to that situation feeling like the underdog, feeling like everyone else is getting paid more than you, or everyone else is valued more than you, or you're needing to pay your dues in some sort of way, no matter how much work you do, no matter how much everybody else does, you're going to come out of that feeling that same slighted, overlooked feeling that you felt at the beginning of it, because there's always a need when you're working with other people to feel like you are there to help, that your contribution is necessary and helpful. And you can't necessarily wait to get that from the other people, that feeling. You can't wait to get that from the other people. They give that back to you when they already have the understanding that that's what you brought. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what I was saying before about having the influence because there was an opening for you to be able to influence. The other person was receptive to it, right? So paying attention to what they're receptive to that you can offer, as opposed to what they're not receptive to that you feel like is more valuable, is going to get you in a better feeling place to be able to get things moving. Okay. So, that is, honestly, I feel like I need to pull about, this queen here. Because I really feel like there's a overlooked element to all of this. That projected energy where there's more value being offered than what's being accepted. And that's okay. That's another thing I had to get over with what I do. My focus in my work is about getting people to activation, getting you to a place where your space is owned by you. Not just your physical body, your energetic body, your feelings body, your mental space is possessed by you. It's fully embodied, right? You are aware of not only your intention, but how it's coming across, because it's in alignment, and not everybody's going to stick with me long enough to see the value in that. And sometimes it's disappointing, sometimes people just want to relax. Sometimes people just want to get out of pain, and they don't need or don't realize that they need more than that in order to sustain it. You know what I mean? And that's not up to me to decide for them. It's not up to you to decide what somebody else would get or what the benefit is for somebody else. If they're just in it for the money, let them be in it for the money. That's what they need right now. They're in a lack of money. So if your heart is on helping the people that your organization helps, then your contribution is focusing on that, Continue to do the project. Contribute your position to the project. Allow this other person to be about the money with no judgment, because that's what they're coming there for. That's what they need right now. Once they feel secure in that place, then they may be able to focus on helping the people, but maybe not. And that's okay too. That message went a little bit left. Okay, I got an intention card, and it says playing it safe. And I think what it's pointing out, I'll show it to you. I got it to clarify our queen here. Our Queen of Wands. So there's something being overlooked because we're playing it safe. Our intention is to do what we did last year, but a little bit better. We want all the same good results that we got last year, but we want to do a little bit better, right? But this new insight that you're bringing in, this idea, this thought that you're bringing in is threatening that. It's shaking that up and saying, last year was last year. What if we focus on this? You know, people are going to be a little bit resistant to that. There's going to be a fear element that comes in with that because that's not playing it safe. That's a little dangerous. Doing something new is always going to feel dangerous. We don't know. There's too much unknown to it, you know? So see if you can meet in the middle somewhere. All right? That's what I have for you.